Happy New Year, everybody. You are on the curve. Yay!
Excited.
Yes, we are very excited. It is our very last show of the year, and y'all, we are here. We are decked out. We got a little, something to sip on a little later. Thank you. Yep, we got a little something to sip on, and we are so happy that you are joining us. We are going to be talking today about all the hottest, we'll be doing a recap of all the hottest stories that happened in 2018. And later on tonight, we'll be telling you what you need to leave in 2018, honey. Leave it here. Leave it here. And I am around the table with my amazing co-host, and we are ready to get on the curve, y'all.
Hey, it's your girl Felicia.
Hey, it's Melissa.
It's Tony G. Campbell.
And we want to send a special prayer and our thoughts and well wishes out to Stony Love. She is our other co-host. She is out with pneumonia. So we send our prayers to you. We hope you're watching, and we hope that you get well soon. All right. So we're going to hop back into it. We have a list of stories, y'all.
Okay.
But I feel like one of the biggest, most important stories that we could talk about this year was the Me Too movement.
Absolutely.
It was, and y'all know we talk about a lot about women's issues and things that happen with women, and the Me Too movement encompassed kind of like the whole year. It started very early in the beginning, and it was just everywhere, all over the place. And so, for those of you who don't know, we'll just hop right into it. For those of you who don't know enough about the Me Too movement, the Me Too movement really, really was started by a woman named Tamara Burke back in 2009. 2009. Tamara is a black woman who, in essence, she was a social worker, and she had several young women who were coming through her program. She has a nonprofit organization. They were coming through her program, and she could not even the hurt that they were experiencing. She was saying it silently. She was always saying, "Me too, me too," when they would tell their stories. Not knowing that she too was a survivor of sexual harassment and sexual abuse. And so it really started there, but it gained popularity in 2018 because Alyssa Milano tweeted out after the Harry Weinstein, after the Harry Weinstein fiasco. She tweeted out, what message would it send to everyone if everyone who had ever been harassed in the workplace or abused tweeted out "Me Too"? And child, that thing caught fire, and people started hashtagging "Me Too," including your girl. Everybody started hashtagging "Me Too," and the thing blew up and went absolutely viral. So I think that was one of the biggest stories. So the question on the table is, did you know someone, or had you experienced, do you have a Me Too moment? Do you have friends who had Me Too moments? Like, what was your experience with the Me Too movement? They silent. They quiet.
Well, I know I have family members who, are part of the Me Too moment. And the crazy thing about that is it was because of other family members.
Wow.
And, the back in the day how they like to cover up family secrets and things like that. And I'm like, that was never good for any family at all. But I have several family members who, deeply, actually female and males. That
was one of the craziest things for me, is that when I posted my story on Facebook, I had so many guys in my circle who were like, I wish this wasn't something we shared. Like, there were so many dudes, and that blew my mind. Like, it's not just a feminine or female movement. It really is a movement that encompasses everybody, which blew my mind.
Well, I think Charlamagne the God, he talked about it on The Breakfast Club.
He did.
And he talked about how the difference in between women and men, he said he never even knew, like, a red flag never came to him that he was sexually assaulted, because it was like, oh, well, I was 10, 11 years old and I lost my virginity to this 20-year-old woman. And then once he started going through therapy, he was like, wait a minute.
I was 10 or
I
11.
was 10 or 11, and
Wow.
she took advantage of
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know, and so I think, you know, with him shedding light on it being okay to say it's not okay for men, I think that's where you had just culturally more people coming forward and saying, hey, this happened to me, and it didn't emasculate them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, with it being a woman taking advantage of a male, that used to be applauded. Ooh, you 14 years old and you with that 20-year-old hot thing. You
That's
know,
true.
that was something that was celebrated, which it should not have been.
Yeah, it's
And
still
that-
taking advantage of, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But even given, I also having a Me Too story, it's one of those things where when you saw all the hashtags,
Yeah.
it empowered you.
Yeah.
Like it empowered you, and in having that story and having a story from childhood and one from college, it was like, oh my gosh. And the person that I had my Me Too moment with actually inboxed me.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I remember this happened. I saw this happen, and I never told you I was sorry. And I was like, yes, Lord, all
Did
right.
that provide you with
Wow.
some healing?
It did.
Okay,
It did.
okay, okay.
We call it in counseling zipping up.
Yeah.
Because it was like a wound that was unzipped.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
because we both were in different organizations and whatnot, so our paths would cross, I kind of avoided him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he, tried to be kind of neutral
Uh-huh.
with me. And some other people I know knew about the situation.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like one of those unspoken.
Oh.
You know, and where we didn't talk about it, like I didn't say anything about it. And the whole thing that people don't realize, what happens is you get triggered.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah.
Me Too stuff really didn't come out until I got married.
Yeah.
And my ex-husband was like, what is wrong with you? Like at night when I touch you, you like going up. And I didn't realize it. But that's what secrets will do to you.
Absolutely.
You know, when they're not told, they come out in some form. But that was really healing for me.
That is
For him to
amazing.
say,
That's really
I'm
good.
sorry, this is what happened. And I know this is not what you expected, but I want you to know, like, he's gone off, he's got married, has children, things of that nature. But this situation could have just been real wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even though it was at that point, it really could have went left.
You know, I in talking about healing, I got an opportunity to talk to so many other women who had experienced the same thing. One young lady that I talked to, she's actually kind of a mover and shaker in Atlanta, and we realized. So I actually have two Me Too experiences. We actually realized that there is a person who we both had a Me Too experience with.
Wow.
Yes. So I was talking to her and sharing with her like the place and time and what had happened and this, that, and the third.
Wow.
And as she said, she asked me the name, and it's actually a prominent political figure who we had we both had this moment with, and
okay.
a moment of harassment. And so she and I were talking, and she was like, "Is his name?" And I won't say his name on camera this time. You better be thankful. I said his name, and she said, "Me too, girl." Like
Wow.
that was a mind-blowing experience where we have. This is so prominent. It just made me think, though, how important this movement is, because these men and women who are taking advantage of folks are out there, and when we don't talk about it and we don't say their names out there and we don't, it gives them more power to be able to keep going and
That's
keep
true.
continuing to do the things that they were doing. I want to mention that one of the most powerful stories of 2017 where it comes to the Me Too movement is Christine Blasey Ford with the Brett Kavanaugh
Oh, yes,
situation.
yes.
And that, when you were talking about triggers, that made me think of that was actually a trigger for me because people were like, I have friends from both sides of the aisle. I have Republican friends and Democrat friends, and I had a lot of Republican friends who were like, "Oh, she's lying, and women don't. Well, no woman would do that, and why would she wait this long? And she's been married, and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff." And I'm like, there are people who have kept silent for years and years and years, and to be able to, and her story triggered me being able to come back and have those talks with people who think that this just doesn't happen. Like she was an outlier and by herself, and she really wasn't. So shout out to Dr. Christine Blasey Ford and that her whole situation. We are hoping that 2019 brings you peace and rest and good vibes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, moving from Me Too to Meghan Markle. Our girl, yes, another really wonderful story in 2019. Yes. Our girl, Meghan Markle, a.k.a. Tiana.
Yes.
A.k.a. Tiana.
Our Black princess.
I never thought about that.
Yes.
Girl said.
She is a real life Disney princess.
Absolutely.
Love it. And I'm not mad at it. She became the Duchess of Cambridge. Yeah, the Duchess of Cambridge, and y'all, can I just tell y'all, during that time in March, Sussex. It might be Sussex.
Yes.
I think the Duchess of Cambridge
is the brother and his wife.
Yes, are the Duchess of Cambridge. Yes, they are the Duchess and the Earl of Sussex.
I loved everything about that, starting from her mother with the locks and the earring in her nose, being true to herself.
I lived like. So, did y'all do anything special for the day? Like, because I did.
I just watched the wedding.
I happened to be up early enough to watch the wedding.
Baby, watched it like I was invited.
Right.
Listen. Like, sat there, did not move.
Yeah. So I got up early. I made tea and had cookies, and I'm I did like you said, like I was invited. I had my little fascinator and my gloves on, sitting in the living room, watching my girl Meghan become the princess.
Yes.
Like Here's the thing: 'cause how many times do we really feel like that's gonna happen?
Not in our life.
Not even once in a lifetime. The last one,
ever. They had it's 4 generations. It's like 4 or 5 generations over. Okay, so I watched like the Lifetime movie where they had the queen. It was kind of like telling from the queen's perspective of why she approved the marriage.
Okay.
So the queen did the whole history lesson in where they actually had another black princess in the family. And so I was researching it, trying to see, how much truth there was. Because you want to know what's really fabricated and what's real. Yeah. Well, there was some truth to that. And so it was just so exciting to see this happening again. And in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to have 2, I'm giving them a number, 2 curly head, red head children.
So excited. Babies.
Yes.
I cannot
They're going to have a ginger.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all think she's having twins? Because from the timeline of when they say she was really pregnant, she looking a little big.
I haven't seen her lately.
It's possible now. Meghan,
because she had a nice belly at 5 months. And I know, normally if it's your first pregnancy, you barely showing it.
Well, that might be the telltale.
Yeah.
It might not be the first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Wow.
That's true.
That might be the telltale.
Maybe.
Do y'all think Meghan Markle has been pregnant before?
I'm old school.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
And so we don't know.
We don't know.
Because again, you have, to her credit, she was married before.
Oh, that's
That is
right.
true.
She was married before, so this isn't her first marriage.
I forgot about that. You know what? You're absolutely correct.
So we don't know what happened in that previous
That is
relationship.
Meghan,
I was just
let us know, girl.
Listen.
Whoever gets that call, one of us, we're going to have to four-way it in.
Yes.
I'm happy about the whole thing.
It's awesome. Honestly, it is.
Like, I can't, just to be in that position. I mean, it just, I don't know, it just felt like and the whole ceremony was amazing. Like, from the gospel choir
to the preacher.
The preacher.
Listen.
I'm happy about the preacher.
The preacher, he was up there like, who gonna check me?
Right.
Right. I live for him. The memes on Facebook, like, first of all, the internet never fails.
No.
And the
Black Twitter
never fails. The memes from this minister, I
Yes.
still have some of them on my phone.
Yes.
He was hilarious. I loved him. The whole wedding was just beautiful. Like, even watching the
Williams kids, I love them.
they were
And
I
I
love
love
Miss
that
Charlotte.
they let them
I love
just
Miss
be
Charlotte,
kids.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, like sitting down, making faces. Love
And that wedding
Sticking out
picture was
tongues.
everything. Right.
Yes.
That wedding picture was everything with all
Sure
those
was.
kids. It was gorgeous. So congratulations, Megan, our girl. We love you, and we just wish you amazing success with the baby and the marriage, and
Yes.
because I know they're trying to hold you down over there in England. Don't let them hold you down. You go
We
ahead.
got you.
We got you.
I was about to say, I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, you know her life completely changed when
Yeah.
when she said, I'm going to accept this life.
Yeah.
Like, she's not allowed to work, and she's not allowed to, she had to give up her acting career,
And she was successful. Suits was incredibly successful.
She was.
I've never seen it, but
It's so good.
really, I might have to go watch
you
it.
have to go watch
I
Suits,
can't
girl.
add anything until the Game of Thrones go off completely. But thinking about giving up all of that, would y'all do it?
Baby,
Yes.
in a heartbeat.
Without fail.
With a heartbeat.
I would.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
For me, I think in their position, the reason why he fell in love with her, because she reminded him a lot of his mother. And his mother had that same type of attitude of, I may not be able to work, but there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
And so with that no nonsense kind of, I'm not buying into this whole princess, let me go and help the people. I think that's what made him fall in love, and that's why she really accepted that position. I could do that. Now I could go out and work for the people, and without getting a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think she's done
Yeah.
that. Like, I think she's done a really good job because she had organizations that she worked with. I think we talked about that before. She had organizations that she worked with beforehand, and now she had to get like some special clearance and some extra stuff had to happen, and like, you know, but there was a women's soup kitchen that she always used to go to and cook and like help out, and so in order to continue that, there had to be all kinds of, you know, hoops jumped through or whatever, but she did end up getting to do it, so that was exciting, and I'm glad that she had the opportunity. But yeah, I agree. Like, if I could be like I'm trying to do that now. Like, I'm trying to get to the point where I could like work. I could just go and do a lot of good community service, and like I appreciate the fact that she was successful and was able to do it in her own right. But I think this elevates her to a place where it doesn't matter what happens from now on. She's always going to be Princess Meghan Markle, and she's going to be able to use that to do all the things that her television success would have allowed her to do.
And I think it puts her in a different position
Yeah.
if you compare her to, I want to say, what's Fergie's daughter's name? It's not Penelope,
Gina,
but
no, Eugenia?
yeah. She's an advocate there for dyslexia.
Okay.
Because she's dyslexic. However, with Meghan Markle, it kind of positions her more internationally because she has the popularity in the States as well as there now. So giving her a little more of a global positioning. Because when she was younger, she had a nonprofit for, I want to say, had something to do with being a biracial child. Like, she had something to do with the other. You know how when you go in and on the standardized test, just within maybe the last 10 or 15 years, they've added that other.
Yeah.
She was one of those people that spoke about that, advocated for it, because it was like, why do I have to choose?
Come on now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I could.
Girl, I know I could.
Sign
Come
me
on,
up.
Princess.
I
the
could.
moon.
I just need a little work. I'm a little rough around the edges. I couldn't
We
be
ain't
ready
ready.
anymore.
I'm kidding.
Joking. thing.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at all. Yes, and not at all. I'm not mad.
Okay.
Would you?
I don't know. I don't know if I would give it all up because I guess I've essentially have done that. I left work to be a stay-at-home wife and mother, and I fought it for 7 years. I'm still fighting it a little bit. I miss work. I mean, that's something I've done since I was like 14 years old. And what I realized, I guess my work was my identity. And I mean, I worked, I volunteered, I took care of a 105-year-old lady. I mean, I did all of that. And then it was like, yes, Miss D, I love you up in heaven. And when that all went away, I felt like I suffered a death in my life because I lost all of that, and it was all at the same time. Like, I literally worked over 80-something hours every week.
Wow.
Because I worked at my job, and then I worked with her, and then I volunteered. I was a single mom then. And then when I got married, all of that changed. And it took me a while to get used to it. It really took me a long time to understand that whole shift. And the crazy thing about that is that the corporate world looks down on you and they won't let you back in. It's so hard to get back in.
That is true.
So it's like, would I do it again? I don't think so. I probably would not do it again. You know?
I get that.
Yeah.
That maternity leave had me.
Oh.
I was like, I'm ready to go back.
Oh, but enough about me. We are going to move on to a topic that is just, it's still heartbreaking to this moment, about Puerto Rico losing power for 11 months.
That is a really
and
that's a huge thing, yeah.
the current people in charge
The tangerine
just
tyrant.
didn't even care about these people on this island dying and not getting anything that they needed because, you know, and a lot of people said it's because they're not allowed to vote or whatever. But to me, they're still a part of America. They are American citizens in Puerto Rico, and they are just like babies to me because babies can't speak, they can't talk or anything, but
They
you
don't have
still
a
have to
voice.
take care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter if they get to vote or not, we still need to take care of them.
Absolutely. I agree.
So, I mean, how do y'all feel about that?
Situations like that, like for me, I learned a long time ago to detach myself from a lot of situations that happen in this world, just because this world is so hateful, just period. But it didn't really touch me until one of my former employees a few months ago came straight from Puerto Rico to get a job.
Wow.
And he was having a hard time adapting and adjusting to the company. And I did a one-on-one with him and took some time to get to know him. And he said, I just came here. And he started telling me his story, and it was so touching. And I'm just like, we need to help these people. I started trying to do everything that I could. I reached out to his wife and started to build a relationship. And I'm just like, listen, I know how to get resources. Whatever you need, let me know.
Yeah.
So it started it touched me when I met him. So
One of the things, so the last year's the 2017 Miss Plus America is a Puerto Rico resident, and so I got a firsthand account. Like she would, she doesn't FaceTime. She used like WhatsApp and she would do some Facebook Lives sometimes to kind of show us what was happening firsthand. So she lives. She was a medical student, lived in an apartment in the city. So I got to see like the actual devastation from a personal perspective, and like the fact that she said, like when the event was happening, there was all kind of price gouging for water, like gas was at a premium. They were charging all kinds of ridiculous rates. She and her family, it was costing her like $30 for the big things to get water for 3 days, and like
That's
30 or
sad.
$40 to get water for 3 days. And so it was just it was a tough situation at the time to watch from her perspective. Because she had a grandmother further out on the island. She had her the organization that she works with has kids with, I believe, autism that surf, and so watching those kids experience this as well was just, it was just hard. Like it was, and it broke my heart because again, those are brown people who look like us, who are who are out there with no help, and the chief Cheeto in charge did nothing to help those people. And it's crazy to me that months and months and months later, those people are still feeling the effects of what happened during the hurricane. And so it's just, it blows my mind. But that was one of the, I feel like that was one of the things, I don't like to give the Tangerine Tyrant any play, but that was, for me, showed me exactly what kind of president we were dealing with. Like, what kind of person would leave an entire islands of people out there to just suffer. Like, you have to be some kind of awful. I mean,
true.
you got to be some kind of awful. So that was heartbreaking to see from a personal perspective.
I'm just a little
Sorry.
detached,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just gonna be honest because I don't know if you all know this, but I'm from Flint, Michigan. Like, I'm from Flint, so my perspective, like, nothing surprises me because we haven't had clean water in like 5-6 years. Like, the media picked it up, so it's been a real. You talk about price gouging, like. Water bills are like through the roof. Like, my mother lived in a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment. Her water bill was like $250, almost $300 for dirty water.
ridiculous.
And then you have where people were buying homes. Like, it's against the law. How are you meeting meeting your code inspections if the pipes are corroded and you're getting poison? And, when I hear people talk about Puerto Rico, like, I'm talking about where I'm from when I go home at Christmas. Like, I have to get my daughter tested before we go. And then once we come back to see how much lead is in her system.
Oh, wow.
Getting up, it takes, and people are like, how do you know that? To bathe her at 8 years old, it takes approximately 10 to 11 bottles of water, just boiling them and putting them in the bathtub just for a wash up. Cooking, those types of things. And you don't think about it, but when you have to, like, going to the corner to get a free case of water in the snow. So, I've lost a lot of friends due to the lead in the water, because lead causes blood clots. I lost my grandmother to a blood clot. I've lost, and these are people that aren't even 40. I know this year I lost maybe 6 people I know.
Wow.
And under 40. So when I hear about Puerto Rico, I'm like, yeah, okay. But, think about, like, the residents of Flint that are still suffering. And so when we had President Obama in office and he drank the water, it came from downtown. But the whole city needs new pipes. Like, they're going to have to go in, and we're still, and this is, again, year 5 or 6 where it made national headlines. So there was actually a girl who was on, she's a great friend of mine, who was on CNN because she got married when the hurricanes hit. They lived, I want to say, in St. Martin.
Okay.
So because she was not a resident, she was a U.S. citizen, they flew them from St. Martin to Puerto Rico, and then from Puerto Rico to Flint. However, they got a bill. They got a bill for like $700. And I mean, they were going, oh yes, even though they were U.S. citizens, like, it was crazy. They were going live in St. Martin and people were stealing stuff. Same thing. No electricity. Then when they took them to Puerto Rico, like, they got over there and her husband couldn't come because he wasn't a U.S. citizen.
Oh,
And so he had to stay with his elderly mother, and just getting them back, like getting them on a plane from Puerto Rico to Flint. And here we have the people that don't have clean water raising money for this girl to get back from Puerto Rico to Flint. So when I think about the just systemic issues that we have in this country, when it just comes to black and brown people, period, like, you know, the way that the gentrification is happening. And in my neighborhood where I'm from, the universities have bought up all of downtown Flint. However, where the residents are, nobody is going in and cleaning up that. So I was a little detached from Puerto Rico. Not when I can't go and see my mom without taping the sinks up so my daughter won't drink the water.
Wow.
You
Oh,
know,
wow.
you jump in the shower, so you got to jump in and jump out. Like, people aren't going to leave their homes.
Yeah.
Where they're going to go, you know?
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right, friend.
Yeah, so, I mean, I
We still don't
hear
have
them,
clean water.
but no, I'm good.
But you're still like, you should have done something about this Flint water first.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
yeah, like,
I'm not mad at that at all.
that's just me. So, Puerto Rico, you're in our prayers. You're in our thoughts and prayers. And the people from Flint, we're sending you good vibes and
Yes.
wishes, and we wanted
We're
to
wishing
work this
clean
thing
water.
out
Yeah, we're
in
wishing
2019.
clean water.
You know,
Yes.
but moving on. So, okay, you all, let's talk about it. So, in 2018, we had all of these different topics and issues of this whole living while black.
Hashtag.
Hashtag living while black. So we had the incident in Starbucks where we had the gentlemen who were asked to leave and they were working. And that really made me mad.
Yeah.
Because,
That was the
Absolutely.
start. First of all, because I love Starbucks.
yeah, you know, we've met at Starbucks plenty of times.
Several times. And I was hot because I had to boycott
go.
Starbucks. I had to boycott them until they got it together. Now I felt like they apologized and they had a whole day, but before the apology, I was like, oh,
But here's the thing. I was upset because I go in Starbucks and use their free internet and don't even order nothing.
Nothing.
Don't order
I was
one
about to say,
thing.
you're
Well,
not
look
the
at your
only one.
complexion, though.
Everyone
Well,
does.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
that's accurate.
I'm like, okay.
I mean,
Well, I was supposed to say, I was upset because it happened in Philadelphia. That's my
That's your
hometown.
hometown, yep.
You know, and I'm like, growing up, I never felt like we had those issues. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, who has moved into my hometown and turning it upside down?
It's being
'Cause I don't even-
gentrified like
I
everything
don't
else.
appreciate that. And I don't even like Starbucks. We're Dunkin' Donuts people in Philly.
Oh, here we
down
go.
south
Oh,
too. I'm
that's
just
right.
oh
saying.
gosh.
So not only was it Starbucks, but there was also, so again, y'all know I love social media. I love the internet.
Here we go.
And there were several situations that happened that where, of course, the internet did not lose and they did not let me down.
Let's start with your girl.
These
Come on.
Listen, Barbecue Becky.
Barbecue. Let's talk about.
Funny.
Okay, so here's the thing about Barbecue Becky. So I watched the snippet that was shown on CNN.
Yes.
But I said, okay, let me go ahead and
Dig a
watch
little
this
deeper.
whole little 25-minute video. First of all, I was so upset to find out that it wasn't about the permit. This lady was upset because they were using a charcoal grill
Yeah.
in the
Wait,
air.
what?
Like
Yeah.
they were permitted to barbecue where they were barbecuing.
Yes.
But she said they
Were using
are
gas.
using a
Or they're
charcoal
using charcoal
grill
and not gas.
and not gas.
Yeah.
And so they
Was
went.
there a sign that says no charcoal
No,
here?
like
city ordinance.
there's an ordinance. So what they did is went out, and the lady from the neighborhood watch comes
Wait.
out,
Barbecue.
and she's like, "Wait a minute, They are in the right area, and you're just picking on them because they are black." And we
Wow.
know this guy. Well, what Becky didn't know is the neighborhood watch leader had biracial children.
Wow.
So she called it what
I
it
didn't know
was.
that. I didn't know that.
She called it what it was.
Yeah, I didn't see the video.
Oh.
I saw the video,
I
but I
just saw
didn't
the
know
meme.
that the
Yes.
woman was. I didn't know that she was white and
The
that she
lady was
had
white,
biracial children.
and she had
Wow.
biracial children.
That
And so she went
Shout
in
out to
on
you.
her.
Shout out to
Becky, she said, "No, you're not going to change your voice." So this lady
Wait, what?
follows her like 3 blocks. She's following her 3 blocks, recording her. and she's telling the police, they're following me. That's what Barbecue Becky is saying.
That's what barbecue.
And she's like,
said.
Wait a minute,
and the
she
lady
said
is
they
like,
were following
they
her,
are
but it was
following,
just the white woman
it
following
was just
her.
the white lady following her. But see, what I love about Oakland, shout out to Oakland.
Shout out to Oakland.
Let me tell you, because that's the sister city of Flint. What I love about Oakland so much is Black Twitter got them all the way together, because that following week,
Yep.
they had a full-out family reunion
Wait,
barbecue on the grass,
They
parking
did.
their trucks on the grass
They did.
with all kind of charcoal grills.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
you know how your
All
cousins
the
are
Yes.
way
gonna do it.
together.
Yes. Like, try
Wow.
us now, and we have permits.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Because the internet never fails me.
Wow.
They never fail.
I think that got to be the funniest
That's
thing.
hilarious.
I did not know all that was going on.
Yes. And
I
then-
didn't know about the white lady. I'm really
Okay.
excited about that.
What about your boy Hallway Harry?
Hallway Harry? Listen, Hallway
Oh.
Harry just happened. So that is how prevalent living while black has been, because it has been. So CNN has a whole list of incidents that have happened that have garnered national attention, where brown people have been harassed or things have happened. Any kind of situation has happened. CNN, I promise you, on CNN there's a list of like 30 or 40 incidents, and that is not an exaggeration.
Wow.
Hallway
What was
Harry.
your
Hallway
boy?
Harry, hold on. Hallway Harry is recent. Hallway Harry, this young man who lived in this building, Hallway Harry
Okay,
comes
I
out.
heard of that.
East
Yes.
Manhattan.
East Manhattan.
Yes.
Hallway Harry comes out. He's like, I don't think you live here.
Wait.
I've never seen you.
Who
Now,
are your neighbors?
Who are your neighbors? You gonna tell me? Blah, blah,
I
blah,
thought
blah,
that
blah.
was a woman stopping him from
No.
No, that's
That's
another
another
one. That's
incident.
another
Oh,
incident.
wow.
That's
Yes.
another
It's too
incident.
many
Hallway
ridiculous
Harry is like an older white gentleman with a mustache, and he had on a baseball cap. Now, the thing about Hallway Harry, I will say, is he might be equal opportunity, because there was somebody who came out about a week later and was like, "No, I'm white. He did that to me too. He is just annoying."
Well,
He
let
is
me
looking
tell-
out for the building.
I'm going to
then.
tell you
Oh,
something.
okay.
I can appreciate those neighbors, because those are my neighbors.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
I am the second black family to live in my complex.
Oh.
Let me tell you something.
Wow.
When the Beau moved in, transitioned, my neighbor was like, there's a black guy in our building.
What?
He just moved in. She said, have you seen him? I think he's going downstairs. I said, no,
What?
ma'am, he's coming upstairs.
Uh-huh.
He's good.
Oh wow.
But I like them. They better than a dog.
Uh-huh.
They know what's going on.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I get it. I get it. I
not-
understand
I
it.
don't even know how I would feel
I can't
about. I
handle it.
can't.
I
Let's
didn't.
not handle it.
She came
What?
over. She made me late picking my baby up from skating the other day. Knocking. Hey, did you hear them downstairs the other night? And I was like, no, I was, oh man, slamming doors. They're new. I think they're doing, what is it called? When you rent your place out for a week.
Oh, Airbnb.
I think they're doing Airbnb, and that's against our rules. We're
Oh,
not supposed to have
my
Airbnb.
What does she want you to do? She
gosh.
wants you to go
She
do
was just telling me, because I was like, oh, I don't got nothing to do with the people. Like, I pay my
I was about to
said-
say, is she part of the home association
No.
or anything?
No.
She's just a
Nose
nosy
association.
neighbor.
Yes.
What she
No.
wanted Melissa to do was go down and talk to the people.
And
All
talk
the
to 'em,
black
'cause you're the
people
only one that
everywhere.
can
That's
relate
what she
to 'em.
wanted.
No, what am I supposed to be, the hashtag angry black
Yes,
woman and
she
check
wanted
them?
you.
Wow.
No, you
wanted
check
you
them.
Wow.
to go down there and be like, so the white people are upset, and you need to blah blah blah. She wanted you to speak on behalf of that. She wanted to be
The two black people
Yes,
in the no,
yes,
I wouldn't
she
do.
wanted that for
I
you.
let them people go on about their business. But I'm gonna tell
Have you
you
introduced yourself to them?
to who?
To the black people?
I wave.
Oh.
Like I like my neighborhood.
Wow.
I love where I live. But we do have a lot of this going on. Because one of my
Melissa's
neighbors was
busy,
saying,
honey. She's busy.
did you see that strange guy? Whenever they say strange guy, I
It's
know
a
he's
black
black.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
know
is
he's
so
black.
sad.
I know he's
Oh
black. Did you
my
see strange guy?
God.
So I know he's black. But one of the stories that really got me this year, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you all saw this. Did you all see where they were playing basketball in LA Fitness?
Yes.
and the guy pushed him, and the white guy called the
Yes.
police.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I didn't
Oh,
see
Lord.
that.
heard about it. I
They
didn't
were
Yes.
at
see it.
LA
I
Fitness
heard about
playing
it.
basketball.
Oh, yes, I certainly did. And I thought to myself.
And the police, when the white guy came, when the police officer came, he was just standing there looking like,
What do I
they
do?
have to show up
Yeah.
because people are calling.
I want every last one of these people fined $100,000 for falsely calling the cops
for no reason.
and wasting. That
But-
cop could have
But
been
Becky
out
said that.
stopping
Becky
something
said
else.
your charcoal, she have to pay when your cousins leave their charcoal
That's
out
big,
there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
They pay
Yeah.
$10 million every year to the city of Oakland for charcoal
Oh,
being
my
left out
God.
there.
Child.
Well, guess what,
Honey.
Becky?
Barbecue.
We got a
Becky.
gas grill, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
And we got a
listen.
back deck, so.
This stuff has to stop.
Yeah.
It
That's
has
just
to
like
stop.
the guy though here with the nonprofit who babysits the 2 white kids.
Yes.
And the
That was
lady
another
called
one.
Yes.
the police
Yeah.
on him. That was so crazy to me. Like,
Yes.
Crazy.
when are we gonna stop this stuff?
But I thought about that today. And I'm going to
Did you
tell you
really?
what, I promise on everything it crossed my mind. Because we went to Palm City Market for the noonday drop that they do for kids.
Okay.
And I saw a white guy with 3 black children. And I thought, I wonder if somebody is thinking something. Because in my mind, I was just like, oh, he adopted them.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, oh, he's a pedophile.
Yeah. And I will say this. So, working with sex trafficking victims and sex trafficking survivors, one of the things that they tell you is if you see something unusual, like say something, call somebody, like say something, because a lot of times it will be children who are not of the same nationality who are being trafficked. So there is definitely a line, and there is definitely, like, yes, you need to be aware, but you also need to look and don't make a snap judgment.
True.
Like, you need to look and kind of see what's going on. Do these little children look like they know this man, or do these little children, excuse me, are these little children looking like they've been snatched
True.
by somebody?
True.
And
Because he
are
was on
under
Steve
duress.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah,
the thing when white people see black kids or white kids with a black person, they're not thinking sex trafficking.
Yeah.
They're just thinking, why are these white kids with
Yeah.
this
This
black
black
guy?
Yeah.
We're thinking along those lines
Yeah.
of sex trafficking. That's where our minds are going. But the white people are not thinking like
Yeah,
that.
they
They just
Well,
don't want these white kids with this black person.
At least it's a white kids with a black guy. But if it's white kids with a black woman, then we're
A
their
nanny.
nanny.
Oh, that's
when
true.
this one woman was like, no. Even Meghan Markle's mom was like, no, that's my child.
Oh, that's
I am
true.
not her
Yeah,
nanny.
yeah.
And it's just crazy. It's like, look, like you said, look for signs of distress. Look for signs that, this person may need to be helped, no matter what color they are or what color they're with, But if these people seem like they're smiling, what that
And
looks
happy.
like? And they're happy, and they're like, all right, they're having conversations, like normal people do. Nothing is wrong, people.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
There you go.
Ellen, what is her last name? The lady from Grey's Anatomy. She
Oh,
was just
Ellen
talking
Pompey?
about Ellen Pompey was just talking about that on the Red
Table
Table Talk.
Yeah, she
Because
was.
she has biracial children.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, listen, we have so many more topics, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back in just a few minutes with more of your hot topics from 2018. We'll be right back with more of The Curve.
So we are back at the curve, and I just want to jump right in, ladies.
Yeah, because we're back with the topic.
Yes. So let's talk about Miss Monique, honey. Now let me just say, I'm gonna start off. I love Monique's work. I do. I'm definitely a fan, but I may not agree with the whole boycotting of Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm just thinking she compared herself, to the salary or the offer that they gave to Amy Schumer, the offer that they gave to Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock,
some other folks who.
Yeah.
some other folks.
the game much longer than her.
Exactly. But I just feel like in 2018, and I hate to say it like this, but Monique just wasn't that relevant.
She wasn't.
She
popping.
wasn't.
I'm
She
just
wasn't
saying.
popping. Nothing.
Listen, they talked a lot about that on the Breakfast Club too, and I'm a huge fan of Charlamagne the God, and I feel like he keeps it very, very 100. And I think what he said was very accurate. Monique was not popping
Exactly.
in 2018.
Exactly.
Love you, Monique. Think you have done amazing work. You have
Absolutely.
done fantastic stuff. And yes, her fact that she is the most nominated and she has gotten the most nominations, not the big awards, but she's been nominated for a lot of stuff. Okay, and she's gotten a lot
In
of
the
awards.
90s.
In the 90s, and the early 2000s.
Yeah, in the 90s and early 2000s. And we're not even counting Precious because
No.
she did some work before that.
I'll
give her that.
She did do good work before Precious, but Monique, girl, like you are asking people. First of all, everybody don't even have their own Netflix account. Let's
I'm
just start
trying to tell you,
Like,
honey,
listen, you don't have
you
that
are
on.
we are using
Honey.
someone else's
Yeah.
Netflix to watch you in the first place.
Exactly. But
Everybody ain't got their own account. So no, girl, you asking us to boycott something we ain't paid for. Why?
exactly. And I think though I would have took that change. I would have. That was a great
To build
deal.
on. It was
to build on.
something.
But it seems like, and I don't know the way that contract negotiations work in Hollywood or in the land of Netflix, but it seems that her team should have been able to add a clause or something in that contract to say, hey, because if Netflix is saying it's based on what you can do,
Yeah. Like what
there
you
should have
bring
been a
to the
clause,
table.
saying, okay, if you reach this or you exceed this, then maybe we can give an additional. I don't know how the contracts go, but maybe, I don't
Well,
know. I
Let's
would've
start
took
with your
that 5.
attitude.
I
Let's
was
start with
about
your
There you
attitude.
go.
with that.
There you
Let's
go.
start there
I
first.
agree.
Let's start
Will
with that
Packer tried to
husband.
give her
Yeah.
a chance.
Let's go with that husband.
And the husband
Your
messed it
management is
up
wrong, girl.
after
Oh.
Tyler Perry and all these other people tried to help her out. Like you still she tried to degrade Charlamagne the God.
By calling him Leonard.
Leonard.
We knew his name was Leonard, girl.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that's your private negotiation with your money. That has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So we should actually not know anything about what's going on behind doors financially until Forbes come out with their top 10 Forbes list.
I was wondering how
But-
that comes out. How,
Oh, yeah.
No. How everybody knows what's being offered
They
amongst.
don't until people say stuff.
Until people say it. But I would like to go on and move on to the This Is Us crockpot fiasco. Now, that was a big topic in television just because we finally learned how Jack died. And I was so upset with
Please
that
don't tell
neighbor.
us.
Oh,
At that-
you haven't
oh,
seen it yet?
I'm sorry. Spoiler
Spoiler.
alert. Sorry.
Yeah, like.
But when I found out that crock pot came from that sweet old neighbor, I was like, Jack didn't die. He was murdered by that neighbor. And I was upset for a long time because at that point I stopped cooking in my crock pot. Sorry, crock pot.
Yeah.
I did no more slow cooking. Didn't
Well,
do it.
I think so. For me, there was this huge buildup to this scene where he's going in, he's rushing in the fire, he's saving the people, he's being amazing. But what was funniest about this was the internet's reaction to this whole thing. Like, y'all, This happened. First of all, this story is set in the 80s. Like Crockpot done a whole lot of stuff
Since
then to
We
to
felt
better their
the
product.
pain.
People like
Wow.
the people were just like you.
Yes.
I'm not slow cooking up, and they had to have, which was hilarious. And I think the Crockpot Corporation did a really good job of crisis management because people
They
was about to
did.
stop
Wow.
buying these Crockpots. But what they did was they had they did a commercial with what's his name, Milo. I don't know how to pronounce his last
Yeah,
name.
don't
The guy
mess
who
that
plays Jack. They did a commercial with him
Damage
and a
control.
crock pot. Good damage control, talking about no, save the crock pots. They've done nothing wrong.
Wow.
It was because the internet was like, no more crock pots. Crock pot killed Jack. It's hilarious. I loved it. It was hilarious.
All right, ladies.
Yeah. Ooh.
So let's talk about it.
What?
Black Panther.
Hey, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Forever.
Yes.
$1.5 billion.
What?
Yes.
That's where we
Globally.
are now? Come on, Ryan
Globally.
Coogler.
That is awesome.
And what's the fine boy's name? Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
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 Oh my God, that movie was everything.
It was.
And it doesn't even seem. I was reading something today that said it seems like that movie has been out for like 4 years, but it literally just
What?
came out.
Absolutely.
And guess what?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Hey! It is on Netflix. Like that was. I remember that weekend
Yes.
of just going out and just all the costumes in the theater
Yes.
It was
and
beautiful.
people. It was gorgeous. Like all these beautiful black folks just coming out and celebrating. It was really like just for the culture. And the thing that blew my mind was the people. I have a friend on the internet who she lives in North Carolina, I think, and saw this movie in theaters 20 times.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
That is not a game. Like she would like get little children in her family
Oh my
and take them to
gosh.
see it.
That's awesome.
And then she would
That's
like
awesome.
take her friends' babies and
Oh
they
my
would
That's
see
goodness.
it.
good.
And
We
this-
need the representation.
Yeah,
We
that's
need and especially from Marvel. That was so important
It
because
was.
we need to see us in a positive manner.
Absolutely.
And just the messages and
Costumes.
all of that. And then the thing about it is, okay, so I don't know how you feel
Uh-huh.
because I know you're from here.
Yeah.
But everything, the majority of the people in the movie were homegrown. Like they shot the movie in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
The makeup artists were from Atlanta. The stylists were from Atlanta.
It's
So
good.
that was just like,
Yes, it did make me feel good to know, like, it was like so Atlanta based, and people were calling Atlanta Wakanda because it really is like it is the lands of
that's
like
right.
black amazingness.
It is.
So, like,
I
if you're
can
thinking
attest
about
to that.
moving here, you first
You
of all,
better do it.
Move
We
to
don't
the
want you no
outskirts.
more.
No.
Hold on.
Hold
No,
on.
hold on.
No.
Move to the
No.
outskirts.
We
Now, I'm
don't
not
need
saying
no
don't
more.
come- Right.
We
No.
don't need no more people.
I'm not saying
Kennesaw,
Kennesaw,
Stockbridge,
Douglasville. All
Don't go to
Fayetteville.
Atlanta.
No.
But we full.
No.
We full.
Wow.
North Decatur is full.
Well, I'm so thankful that they let me in a year
Yes,
ago,
man.
and I'm not going away.
Please.
I'm glad you made it in before,
Yeah.
because
I
we
thought-
full.
you
Before the
could go
cutoff,
out-
right?
You could go out to Rockmart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dallas.
That's-
No,
yeah.
fine.
no,
Now
no,
Dallas,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Go to
Dallas-
Rockmart.
Dallas clearly just shut down.
Cartersville.
Gosh, y'all, I'm
Yeah.
trying to encourage my whole family and all my
Rome.
friends to come on down here. I'm
No,
serious.
no,
Yeah,
no
we
more.
full. We real full, y'all. We real full.
But I was about to say, my husband worked 2 weeks. He made himself a mask that he did wear on. We went on the day. We had shirts. I didn't wear a mask. I just had my shirt. We had our shirts. We were all decked out. We went with like 20 people.
Yes.
And then we went back and took the kids. So I saw
Yeah.
it twice in the theater.
Yeah.
I gave you my money twice.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
Wow.
It's a
I
beautiful
definitely dressed up. I had my my skirt, my African skirt.
Right.
Yeah, very
there
similar
you
to
go.
what Miss Melissa's
Yeah.
wearing today. I had my African skirt. I had my, my jewels. I was bedazzled and such going to the theater because it was like a moment, and I
It
knew.
was.
First of all, I knew that my people, okay,
Your cousin.
my cousins, your cousins, they weren't they were gonna be out there, and I didn't want to disappoint. Okay, I like to be appropriate in the situation in which I'm in. So I had to come bedazzled because the people were. I mean, everything from Coming to America outfits. I saw this one guy with like his whole, like the whole lion.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stole
Yes.
and the hat.
Yes, the whole little
the
family
whole
dressed
little
up.
family dressed up. It was amazing because people were like, "This is for the culture." And
Baby,
we're
let
doing
me
it.
tell you something. Your girl had on a head wrap.
Yes.
I had my little lines on my face.
Oh, it was so good. The fashions. And here's the thing: all of that was inspired by the fashions in the movie because the movie. I mean, the set designer and the fashion designers did such a good. The costume designers, rather,
Amazing.
did such an amazing job bringing to life, like not only what Africa was then, but what it is now.
Exactly.
It was life changing. So
My shoulders are
And seeing them in City Hall.
ooh,
Like-
yes, it was good.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So yeah. So last but not least, one of the major things that happened in 2018 was that we found out some of our favorite celebrities have a few issues, y'all. Like we talked about, and we are talking about more and more mental health in the African American community, which I think is amazing. So this year we had several celebrities who came out and said, "Hey, listen, y'all. Your boys got issues. Your girls got issues." Mariah Carey was one of them. She's one of my favorite singers of all
We
time.
knew that, though.
Yeah, we did.
We knew she was touched.
We-
We knew. Let's talk about some people we wasn't surprised about.
Wow.
We knew Kanye was touched.
We
Yes.
knew
We
Kanye
knew Mariah
touched.
was touched.
We did.
We knew Jennifer Lewis was touched.
Yes.
I
Have
kind of
y'all
didn't
read
know
her
that
book?
though.
Yeah.
I
Have
didn't.
y'all read her
I
book?
honestly
You didn't
didn't
read her
know.
book?
I have
no.
not read
Oh
her
my
book.
goodness,
Yes.
her book is amazing.
Is it amazing?
When she was Aunt Viv's
Yes.
sister, she was touched.
And
Yeah, but she's such
she
a good
tells
actress.
so much truth.
But
in
some of that is
book.
real.
Some of that is real.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why she can
that
play the
is
part.
truly her.
Yeah,
Is
that's
truly
her in real life.
Yeah.
But who we might not have been aware of was like Kid Cudi
Yes.
came out
Right.
and said, "Y'all, listen, it's a lot of mental illness going on, and I am, suffer from depression." Charlamagne the God is another one who has come
Jada
out.
Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett Smith came out and said, "Hey, listen, I've suffered from depression a lot." And so I think it's been amazing though because it's caused people, especially like Charlamagne just came out with a book called Shook One, which I recommend for everybody, especially males. I think if you're male, this book will speak to you because not only does he talk about his experience with anxiety, he also has a doctor who comes in behind him and talks about that experience
A
from
black
clinical-
doctor.
a
Let's
black
say
doctor
that. Because that's
Yeah.
the issue with us.
who comes in from a clinical perspective.
That's the issue with us
Yeah.
so many times. And with this being what I deal with, you have so many of us that don't trust each other.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
we will deal and suffer. And for me, this is so important because Black people have the most severe diagnoses
Yeah.
of all.
'Cause we hold
And that's right, we're
Yeah.
holding it all in with our men being the highest diagnosed with anything from depression to, and especially with women postpartum. Now you will see, and I'm actually writing my dissertation on the superwoman complex and how that's impacting us with our grief and depression and how we're raising our children.
Yeah.
So this is a transgenerational thing. That's why it's so important for the culture
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stop with the family secrets.
Come on
Yes.
now.
That's true.
Okay, family secrets
Yes.
are no.
That
Well,
is
guys, we're going to take one more quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more of The Curve.
Awesome.
All right, guys, we are back, and we are going, as we end the new year, in 2018, we are going to tell you and talk about what we need to leave, child, in 2018 so that you can have the most prosperous, most amazing, most fantastic 2019 possible. So we were just sitting on break. We were talking about kind of all the things that we're going to leave, and we had, Felicia just said a good one.
Disgruntled ex-husband.
Hey, we living in 2019.
Bye.
2018. But yes, and not only disgruntled ex-husbands, but we're leaving boyfriends that ain't worth nothing.
Bad unhealthy relationships.
All the unhealthy relationships. We're leaving those right here. We're leaving. We're zipping them up. Ain't that what we say in the counseling? we're zipping up relationships that are unhealthy, and we're leaving behind. And hey, we're not leaving them behind in anger and frustration.
No.
We're leaving great memories.
Let me tell you something. That is so
We're
true.
leaving great
That is so true.
memories.
We leaving people who ain't
Let me
about
tell you
nothing.
something.
That's what we
Listen,
Listen.
friend.
I got over my situation with that real quick. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? This is an opportunity for me to revamp.
Yes.
So I'm going to be growing. I'm not worried about
There
it.
you
Come on. We all right still. We all
Bye.
right. Bye. Holla. What you leaving in 2018, friend?
Great memories.
Great memories.
And I look forward to making, having wonderful moments in 2019.
Absolutely.
Yes, great moments and all of that.
It's a slow process.
It's a slow process, like rebuilding and getting over someone and moving on with life and blah blah.
It's not hard for a Sagittarius, is it?
It shouldn't be.
I forget all about. Bye.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about me off camera because I'm sure my person is probably watching.
Oh, hey.
Sorry. Let's
Bye.
move on.
Bye.
Just say bye.
Love you. Bye.
Ooh,
Love you. Love you. Think you're amazing.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Wow.
You know what we're leaving behind in 2018? We're leaving fear behind. We're leaving.
Wow, yes,
You
absolutely.
stole my
I
thing,
was
girl.
gonna let you go first.
Yeah.
We are leaving fear behind in
Yes.
2018. We are not going to be afraid to do anything
Absolutely.
that we
Yes.
want to do. We are going to, and we're also leaving excuses because
Absolutely.
whatever it is that you want to do and however it is that you want to, whatever path you want to go down, we are not going to make an excuse about. We are going to figure out a way, and we're going to make it work. And we're going to do what we have to do to make our dreams come true.
Absolutely. Let's set some goals and do it.
And
Hello.
let's make it happen.
That's right.
What else we leaving behind in 2018, Miss Tony?
Since you stole mine,
Steal.
I will say the lack of self-care.
Oh,
What
wow.
people don't understand is so important is to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
It's not a selfish thing. It's a necessary thing. You know,
Absolutely.
even if you just take 15 minutes in the morning of quietness, just to be alone, to get your mind straight, you have to self-care. Do not overbook your calendar. You don't have to be busy all the time. It's okay to say no to everybody.
Schedule naps.
Hello?
Schedule naps.
Schedule naps, schedule massages, schedule a bath, a bubble bath. You know, just schedule putting your feet up and tuning everybody out. Cut off the phone, the television, social media.
Yes.
Cut off everything. Just self-care.
And if you're a mom, schedule time where your kids can be somewhere else so that you can have time to yourself to think.
True.
Yes.
Not so you can go somewhere and do something else for someone else. Schedule time so that you can just sit down, be alone, and think.
Yep.
Yes.
All by yourself. So,
Amen.
anything else we want to leave? Are we good?
Procrastination.
Ooh,
I
come
think
on
that's
now.
a good one. You know, because it's not going to get done until you get it done.
Absolutely.
And like
Absolutely.
Shannon says, the excuses come along with procrastination. Well, I couldn't get it done because no. Just go ahead and do it. There's no reason not to do it. The only reason you're not doing it is because it's not a priority to you. Now, once you make it a priority, you'll get it done.
You have something coming up that can help people.
I
with that.
do, in fact, have something coming.
Oh, I
Yes.
saw that.
Yes,
Yes.
Thank you.
I have something coming up. I am going to be doing a vision board party for those of you who are trying to get those goals accomplished and those visions accomplished. And this is not just a vision board party where we're gonna, post some things on a poster board. We are actually going to be coming up with a 90-day strategy plan. So when you leave, you'll have tips, you'll have an action plan, you'll have strategies, and you'll have your vision in front of you.
Wow.
And so please go to the website shannondeneen.com and go to shop, and it's under glitter and goals. It's under the glitter and goals tab. It's only $9, and it's going to be at the Canvas Creations by You on Memorial Drive in Atlanta. So please come out. Go ahead and sign up now. Spaces are very limited because a lot of people have signed up. So go ahead and secure your spot today. We're going to be cutting off registration on Saturday. So make sure you go ahead and get your tickets now before there are no more tickets left. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much. So we're going to toast to 2019. We are toasting to better relationships, better health, better life, better memories,
Yes.
goals and dreams and aspirations. We hope that you have an amazing 2019. Toast to you and toast to everyone who watches The Curve. We love you so much, and we'll see you next year on The Curve. Yay!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!